And let's get started. Hi there. Is everything working correctly? I think my volume is not quite high enough. Testing, 1, 2. Ah, jump scare. Um, okay. Last week was a bit of a downer stream, and I want to take it easy this week, so we're gonna do more of a chill stream unless like some huge breaking news happens. But I think unless I missed something, because I've been mostly focusing on behind the scenes stuff, unless I missed something, it seems like the big international stories are kind of under control right now. Like there hasn't been any big development between Israel and Iran since last week. There hasn't really been a change in Venezuela since last week. It sounds like today we can kind of take a. I need a brain day off anyway, so yeah. Whoa, what happened here? Seems unlikely that it will. Well, you never know. There can still be like a out of nowhere drone attack on Israel from Iran, like a few months ago. But we'll see. Uh, yeah, I've been working on a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully next week I'll be publishing stuff again, mostly shorts. But like by the end of the next week, I'll be publishing another video. I was working on a short that became a project for a quick 10-minute video. So hopefully that'll be done by the end of next week, and shorts coming out as well. So here, there's a heat wave in Europe. Well, yeah, I have, as you can see right here, I have a fan for that. It is hot. It is hot right now. I think a big thing was Iran hacking Trump's email, but there's no info on that. I do. So is YouTube a primary job? Um, at the moment, yes. At the moment, I'm trying to set this channel up as a company that it's like I'm setting myself up as a freelancer where I'll declare the income from YouTube as freelance income, and eventually I do want to set it up as a proper company, but like we still need to at least 5x the channel before it gets to that point. But yeah, right now I'm living off of a combination of YouTube and unemployment benefits while I get everything set up right now. Boop. Hey Gray, how's it been? It's been a while. I was wondering what you were up to. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I do need to get better at publishing. Like I do need to. A big thing that I just never had the discipline to do because I never needed to do it until I started YouTube is like self motivation and like self driving myself. It's one thing to it's one thing to like wake up in the morning and you really, really, really need to get to the office because if not, you're gonna get fired and you're gonna get in trouble and all of that. It's another thing when you're your own boss and you get up in the morning and you can go, oh, I can sleep in a couple of hours because no one's gonna fire me. I'm the only person who can fire me basically. And earlier this year, I had a big bout of like that plus depression plus anxiety where I basically did nothing for like 3 months. Like I was every day I would wake up wanting to work and I would just like for some reason like I would snap my fingers and all of a sudden it's 10 p.m. and I've done nothing, and that is weird to wrap my head around because I still can't really figure out why my brain works that way. I think a lot of people who've never had to like work on their own time, who just have like a work schedule or like school or whatever, it's a muscle that we don't really learn how to develop until we have to do it. Apart from Ukraine invading Russia, yeah, let's look at quickly at the Ukraine invading Russia stuff. I do want to do more stuff about Ukraine at some point. I've been trying to reach out to someone for an interview about that. It would be cool if we could do that at some point. Hopefully, I have two. I'm like in early discussions for two, not related to Ukraine, but for two conversations like slash interviews, more like conversations with people for the next two streams. And yeah, hopefully that'll happen. And they're both very interesting people who, one of them, the one for next week, if everything goes well, was both at the RNC and was in the UK last week. So there would be a lot of stuff to talk about in both of those cases. And yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. Maybe you need Adderall. Maybe, yeah. Honestly, maybe, because I've been seeing the more I look into what the symptoms are for ADHD, the more I'm like, this. I basically feel like I check every single of the boxes. Like what I have is 100% like executive dysfunction, and I wonder about it very often. So let's look at the, what's it called? Ukraine Russia invasion. It's called the, what's the name of the territory again? Kursk. Kursk. Kursk attack. Let's look at Reuters, BBC, and Al Jazeera. Adderall's amazing. Yeah, it's just like I don't. Maybe it's just like me overthinking it. I just think of all the people who, use Adderall as a performance enhancing drug when they don't have ADHD, and like the side effects that it has for people who basically use it when they shouldn't really. And I don't know. Like I should just like do the proper normal thing and go see a doctor. But then like when it comes to diagnosis for these things, it's not like something where you can just like, your doctor takes like a urine sample and goes like, oh, you have this thing. It's like ADHD is like a whole clusterfuck to get diagnosed for. Like it's like autism. Like getting diagnosed for that is you have to do a months long battle for it, especially here in Berlin. And yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass that I'm not sure I have the patience to undergo. Yeah, it feels a bit daunting to get to do that. So, what the fuck is happening in? Whoops. Let's move that over to here. Oh, you saw the mod chat on Discord. Confidential stuff. Oh, I wanted to talk about yeah, so there's two. I was listening to a bunch of podcasts this week. And wait, let me move this over. And so if you're, because obviously right now my main focus is the rise of the far right. There's one podcast that hey, the red guy. There's one podcast that I recommend that I've talked about on stream before, called Day X by the New York Times. Not having the patience to get diagnosed is an indicator, probably. Yeah, that sounds about right. Day X by the New York Times is about a network of neo-Nazis who infiltrated the police and military of Germany, Austria, and Switzerland recently. Like, this is a recent thing from a couple of years ago. And were basically planning and waiting for an opportunity to overthrow the governments, to take over, and to do like to do a fascist government, basically. So that's a really, really good podcast to listen to, and it's pretty scary, but it's also like important stuff to keep in mind. Like, there was one moment in that podcast, one anecdote where, let me go back to full screen until we get to that. There's one anecdote in that podcast that's terrifying. So it's a green politician in Germany who received death threats or something like that. So he calls the police, and the police comes over to his house. And they're like, okay, well, the death threats are credible, so what we're going to want to do is, like, we'll give you a phone number that you can call that will, like, have a relatively, like, it won't be like a dedicated fast response team just for you, but like this number will get you get a team sent to your home as quickly as possible. And also give us a map, like a floor plan of your home, so that we know exactly where your bedroom is, or that we know exactly where the exits or entrances are, so that we can, if someone breaks into your house, we can we know what the hell we're doing. And he didn't like police asks him for that. He thinks, oh yeah, this is perfectly normal. Gives them a floor plan of the home, gives them everything they want. And months later, when there was this big investigation into the DayX network, and they broke into a safe house and like found a bunch of documents. They found that floor plan in the in the documents of the fascists who were basically surveilling that guy. So pretty scary stuff. Related to far right developments today. Oh, that's the second channel speaking. That's Jaakko speaking. Some Finnish neo-Nazi got exposed as an organizer for many of the UK riots. Ooh, interesting. Okay, send me some links on that, because I'm definitely interested. I need to include that in the, because basically, so I was so I spent like 3 days trying to set up a trip to the UK. And it like the budget ballooned up to like 500 euros just to get there, without accounting for any of the spending, like just for like traveling there, moving around to like a couple of cities, and accommodation was already 500 euros at least, and that was without accounting for any of the spending there. And we very nearly did it. And then I was speaking to a few journalist friends who are in the UK, and I was like, "Hey, like, what are your recommendations?" And what we realized is that there was basically no guarantee of me getting usable, like, actual good footage from going there. Like, I would need to be lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, and the thought of spending basically nearly a month's rent and having a very high likelihood of coming back empty-handed was just yeah, that was we still like thought about it for a couple of days with Ida, who I was looking into this with, and yeah, we in the end we decided not to, but like we were both like going back and forth on it, and just, like, really very nearly did it, but it was just not a responsible thing to do. Like it's just too risky to spend that much money with no guaranteed outcome. So then I thought, okay, I'm gonna make a short out of this, and then I started to work on a short, and it turned into like I wouldn't be able to fit everything I want to say into a short. So hopefully it's gonna become a full video by the end of this week, and then the next video is going to be one that Gray helped me with a few months ago that I still need to finish, and after that the France update video, and after that I have a bunch of other plans. But yeah, it's going to be at least 2 videos this month, and at least 2 videos next month is the plan, because there's a bunch of videos that are like, working on in parallel, and they should all be a lot faster. Like, basically, I'm not starting from scratch on any of those videos, so they're going to happen pretty quickly. Wait, how did I get to that? I was talking about, I'm losing my train of thought. I was talking about podcasts. So DayX, really, really good podcast, really worth listening to. And there's another podcast that I just finished yesterday called, it's by Rachel Maddow. It's called Ultra. Season 2 of Ultra is amazing. I know among, like, young progressive people who are, who think mainstream media is lame and everything, Rachel Maddow doesn't have the best of reputations, but the Ultra podcast is really, 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 really good. And it's not recent stuff. It's about stuff that happened in the 60s. Like, it's stuff that happened, like, after the World War II up to, like, the 60s. But listening to season 2 of Ultra brings up, even though she doesn't really make any direct parallels, like direct comparisons explicitly to today, like, so much of it is so close to what's happening today, and you can almost go like, oh yeah, that character who was doing that back then is this person today, and that person is this person, and like all of them, the characters that come up in the 60s have almost a direct one-to-one equivalent in today's politics, which is pretty scary. Really great podcast. There's another interview I was listening to yesterday that was pretty that I was really taken aback by, was an interview of Bernie Sanders on the Run Up podcast. And Bernie Sanders is 84. He's older than Biden. He's older than both Biden and Trump. And first of all, Bernie Sanders, always a breath of fresh air to listen to. But more importantly, like, how coherent and how like quickly he's able to talk without ever like confusing any words, without ever like, he's such a good speaker who's like super coherent and super like, it's the proof that the misgivings and hesitations that people had about Biden, and also, I mean, Trump is a whole different story, but specifically about Biden, it wasn't just like his age as a number, it was really like how he was performing. Because Bernie Sanders being 2 years older than Biden, or 3 years older than Biden, and being just like sounding like he sounds like he's 20 years younger than Biden. It's crazy. Anyway, so yeah. Ukraine. So for once in, do we get like a summary of exactly what's happening, or is this the latest breaking news? For once since the start of the Ukraine war, Ukraine is actually taking the fight to Russia. Like there've been like individual, like they've bombed a few. This live page is uploading. Okay, this is useless. There's been a few. They would bomb like a factory here. They would. There would be like small individual kind of. How would you call these? Like mini operations, but this time for the first time. Hello, I'm doing well. How are you? This time for the first time, they're actually sending in troops into Russia. And that is a pretty big shift in the dynamic here. I do wonder. I really would like to speak to someone who knows what the hell they're talking about this on this, but because I do wonder what the goal is here. Like, what is this just to like there has to be some kind of operational target or actual goal that they're trying to reach with this operation, doesn't there? So yeah, Ukrainian troops have advanced up to 30 kilometers inside of Russia in what has become the deepest and most significant incursion since Moscow began its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. Nobody can really tell goals right now. Yeah, that's what I think too. But yeah, I think it's mostly just to show Russia that they can, is the impression that I get. I don't know if there's any like super specific thing that they're trying to achieve other than just costing Russia as much as they can, basically. Like they've been struggling. Basically, what's happened is like they've been struggling. They've done this whole like counter attack, counter operation, whatever it's called, for months and months and months, trying to retake territory that Russia has taken since they invaded. And they spent a whole bunch of resources on that, lost a bunch of men on that, and they weren't able to make much of a difference. And all of a sudden, they're just like, wait, we can just go take their territory. Like, we can just go into there and show them that, you know, they're spending all of their resources in Ukraine. And instead of spending our resources on going up against their forces, we can just, like, go around their forces and do something else and actually cost them more money that way. They have committed too many troops for it to just be a show of force. I don't know if it's a show of force or it's to like cost Russia money. Like, because this is gonna force Russia to reorganize their troops, to like maybe remove some of their troops from Ukraine to like do a counter attack or something. I don't know exactly, but yeah, I guess we'll have to see. I don't know enough about this other than just playing StarCraft, I guess, is my war strategy experience. So Russia's defense ministry said its forces had engaged Ukrainian troops near the villages of Tolpino. I don't know these villages. As the offensive in the Kursk region entered its sixth day. Accused Kiev of intimidating the peaceful population of Russia. Oh yeah, like the because Russia doesn't do that. Russia hasn't intimidated the peaceful population of Ukraine so far. I think it's an optics thing. A lot of Russia propagandists in Bulgaria suddenly went quiet when this began. Yeah, so the thing is, I've seen um, war experts be skeptical of the move, but I think the optics of it and possibly the just the cost and like the gains that they have in just disorganizing the Russian response is way more than actually making tactical gains on the field. And it is like it is probably because like I think Ukraine is a little demoralized after 2 years after not having been able to achieve much with its counteroffensive as in trying to retake Russian controlled territories in Ukraine. And I think they were kind of getting really tired and really demoralized from all of that. So having some real victories actually in Russian territory probably does a lot to shore up Ukrainian morale as well. So there's all of those. It's not just a direct one-to-one like, oh, this is the stuff that we won in battle kind of thing. There's like a lot of parallel dynamics to keep in mind when it comes to propaganda, when it comes to like the Ukraine's image as because the narrative in a bunch of countries now as well, why the hell should we give Ukraine military aid? They can't win the war, and being able to do this thing is also a way to maybe convince their international allies that there is a point in helping in continuing to fund Ukraine. So there's a bunch of things to take into account at the same time. It's not just an on the ground thing. But yeah, I don't know if there's much to be said about this other than yeah, they're 30 kilometers inside of Russia. I think they've been able to capture I've seen videos of Russian soldiers surrendering to Ukrainian troops. Um, One of the most important points is the fact that they're using Western equipment on Russian soil. Yeah, yeah. So this is a thing that I actually completely agree with Macron on. Macron did this reassessed his position a few months ago, where he was saying, "Look, I'm not gonna do the whole." Where Macron was saying, "I'm done with doing the whole like, oh, it's a red line, if Ukraine does this." It's a red line for us to give Ukraine missiles that can strike into Russia. It's a red line for us to give Ukraine tanks. It's a red line for us to give Ukraine F-16s. And every single time, they would be like, "Oh yeah, that's definitely not going to happen." And a couple of months later, um, they would change their mind and they would reassess and they would do the thing that they said was a red line. And I think Macron, like one of the few Macron W's was him saying, "You know what? I'm not gonna be making those claims anymore. Like we'll just do whatever we need to do to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine." And there's no more red lines, so it's also a thing to it's kind of like what the West does in Thailand, where they have strategic ambiguity, where they're like, we will do whatever we need to do to defend Thailand, but we're not going to tell you specifically what it is. You know, it's a way of basically, because if you say we're never going to give Ukraine the rights to use our equipment in Russia, then Russia doesn't need to worry about that. Did I say Thailand? I meant Taiwan. My bad. Yeah, if they keep on putting red lines, first of all, the red lines kept losing credibility. Yeah. I meant Taiwan. Obviously. Brain fart. Anyway, if they keep putting red lines, first of all, the red lines lose all credibility because they kept changing those red lines and changing their minds on that. First, Macron W, not related to funny photos. And secondly, it was just something that was giving reassurance to Russia in a way that they shouldn't have, and being more rhetorically aggressive, I would say, is something that might have made Russia hesitate a little bit more since the start of the invasion if they thought, oh yeah, there's actually going to be a real response. Because so far, the only like the rhetorics early in the invasion was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna do like financial sanctions, but we're not gonna go too far in the financial sanctions because that wouldn't be too nice. We're not gonna cut Russia off from the SWIFT system, and then they did that. And we're not gonna do this, and then we're not gonna do that, and kind of is kind of weak. It just made the West look incredibly weak and incredibly disorganized because they kept changing their minds. Anyway, I've also seen memes of Russia claiming to have shot down an F-16, and I don't actually know. Wait, did that actually happen or not? Because I've seen like people making fun of that by showing wreckage that was clearly not of an F-16, saying, oh yeah, Russia shot down an F-16. But I don't know if there was actually a case of an F-16 being shot down. F-16 shot down Ukraine. Was that real? So there's a Reuters article from August 1st. Oh, it says will shoot down F-16. Okay, so I think that was propaganda. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, remember that F-16s are super, super old planes. Like, F-16s were made in, yeah, they're from the 80s. They're from 1980. F-16s are 44 years old. Not like individual F-16s are not 44 years old. Like they keep getting manufactured, but it's not exactly new technology. It's not like we're giving Ukraine F-35s or something. So this is literally a Cold War era plane. They've been upgraded. That's true. Like they keep getting upgrades, but yeah, I've heard people say that about the Leopard tanks that Germany gave Ukraine a few months ago as well, saying, "Oh yeah, these are like the thing is, Russia has very little recent modern military infrastructure. They have famously the Su-57 is the plane. Is it Su-57? Yeah, they have this honestly very badass looking plane, I have to admit. This is a terrible photo. It's the plane from Top Gun, the last Top Gun, the plane that they fight at the end. Very badass looking plane. But they have so few of these. They have like a handful. They have like less than 10 of them, and they're so scared of losing them. They actually never fly them over Ukrainian territory. They just fly them over Russia and shoot missiles from Russia into Ukraine. Yeah, like when Russia, because this is genuinely a really good plane, but they have so few of them that the idea of that being a significant threat to first of all to like the U.S. military that has how many F-35s does NATO have? Do we have a number? They have more than 10 at least, that's for sure. Predictions of 500 F-35s in Europe by 2030. I think I saw in the preview that there was something about 100. We have 100 on the continent right now. So yeah, no, Russia has been deploying older and older equipment into Ukraine since the start of the invasion because they're just running out of. They still have a bunch of ammunition. They're producing a bunch of ammunition, but their actual equipment is just like they're using stuff that's from what, like the 60s or something. It's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, definitely worth keeping an eye on the Ukraine stuff. I do want to have people who know more about the situation in Ukraine on stream to talk about it in more detail, and hopefully that would happen soonish. I tried to reach out to Dylan Burns, who's been reporting from Ukraine for a long time now, months ago, and I never got a response. But yeah, having someone like that, or someone who's more of an expert and, like, like a military expert or something like that would be great. We'll see what we can do. The other thing, and this might be like the kind of the theme of the stream, because I wanted to take it like do a low effort stream brain wise, but maybe not a low effort stream physically speaking, is yeah, the biggest controversy of the Olympics. Wait, there was a scandal way back in the day, original Crimea invasion times, when Russia did not detect a few Bulgarian planes that were on patrol, and those were Eurofighters. So good luck with the F-16s. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know how many F-16s were given to Ukraine, and I don't know. Yeah, so something I've been seeing as well, and this is something to also keep an eye on for, like, just future military conflict in general, is drone technology. Like, there was a video recently of a 1,000 euro drone taking down a several million euro helicopter, Russian helicopter. And yeah, that is a big change, is like how cheap, because for example, the missiles that they use to attack tanks, each missile is like tens of thousands or more, tens of thousands of dollars, and now they can just like take down a helicopter that's worth several million euros with a drone, like a consumer drone that was modified. And that's a big difference, and that's going to be a big game changer on the battlefield. Maybe more so than having a dozen or so F-16s, is being able to take out very, very expensive equipment with very, very cheap, um, yeah, consumer drones and stuff like that, is going to be something to keep an eye on for this conflict and for other conflicts as well. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what war looks like. I don't know, like a few years down the line. Obviously, right now, the situation in Gaza is like not. That's not the kind of dynamic that we're seeing. But if there's another Iraq war, any kind of like counterinsurgency war in the Middle East a few years down the line might look that way as well. So yeah, what was I saying? The biggest scandal in the biggest controversy in the Olympics, I thought, was going to be the opening ceremony, and then this whole thing about the two biologically male boxers that we talked about last stream already, um, just became this ridiculous, completely manufactured thing. And it's funny because the one positive thing that came out of this, even though there's still no confirmation and no actual document, they can't point to anything concrete in claiming that the two boxers, so the boxers are, let me get them on screen, and Lin Yuting, these two. So these two boxers, Iman Khalif and Lin Yuting, who ended up winning both gold medals in their weight classes, supposedly, allegedly, according to a rumor by a discredited boxing organization called the IBA, not even officially from the IBA, but just based on like an off the cuff comment by the IBA's president, supposedly they have. And she announced that she started legal action, which, yeah, absolutely, she should. But supposedly they may have XY chromosomes, and that is what all the conservatives in the world are using to claim that they are biologically male. And the one good thing that is coming out of this is that finally conservatives have to wrestle with the complexities of sex and gender, where they've been arguing for weeks now that two women with all the biological attributes of women, like as far as we know, there's no indication that these women are in any way in terms of their anatomy have any male biology whatsoever, other than perhaps with no documentation whatsoever, perhaps XY chromosomes. Again, source required for that claim. But every conservative in the world is claiming that these women are biologically male. And it's funny because when you ask them, oh, so you're arguing that people with uteruses can be biologically male. You're arguing that that men can get pregnant then. And they just get either very angry at that or they don't know what to say at that. They're finally having to wrestle with the complexities of sex and gender that people on the left have been talking about for years, and they're finally struggling with the question of what is a woman. Like there was that famous, I talked about it last stream already, but the J.K. Rowling tweets from a few months ago where she was saying that a woman produces large gametes and that's what defines a woman. And now it's like, no, it's not the large gametes, it's the genes, it's the genes. It has nothing to do with the gametes. It has nothing to do with having a uterus. It's just apparently what your chromosomes are, even though like everything else makes you a woman. You made the mistake of assuming. Yeah, no, I agree that the only the thing that is maybe not ideal in the situation is that they both won, and congratulations to them. Like that is great for them that they won, but I don't think that's necessarily the best outcome in terms of the arguments, because the mindfuck that it would have been for conservatives if they had lost, if they had stirred up this entire huge controversy and then they just lost to other women in the competition, and then they would have gone like, okay, I guess they didn't have unfair advantages after all. Would have maybe been a better outcome rhetorically. I don't even know. Like I don't even know. Again, maybe I'm making the mistake of assuming that they would have been, that they would have realized how ridiculous their whole stance on this has been, which they would never have acknowledged that at all. But yeah, the fact that they both won is something that they're gonna use to say, look, see, they're men and they have an advantage and whatever. Yeah, exactly, Gray. They would have just said that's the righteous prevail, and they would have said, well, I guess they were in good boxers, but because despite their unfair advantage, they still lost, or something like that. It just so happens that they're really good boxers. And there was I even saw Elon Musk retweeted something. That it was a headline of the Olympics committee saying that there's no clear scientifically thing, like there's no one clear scientific indicator that could make wait, I have the tweet somewhere here. Let me find it. That could determine who's a woman. And Elon Musk was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing," which is ridiculous because conservatives' definition of what is a woman has changed over the last few days because of this controversy. Yeah, this. Oops. So, this looks like it's satire, not the B, but it's like it's an account that posts stuff that supposedly is real, but looks like satire. From a conservative perspective, of course, International Olympics Committee president tells the press there's no scientific solid system to determine if someone is male or female. Well, yeah, because conservatives are trying to use genes. First of all, they still haven't been able to substantiate any source to say that. Ein, welcome to the stream. Hello. First of all, conservatives have not been able to substantiate any source to say that these women have XY chromosomes. Still waiting for a source on that. Like, and the IBA knows that they could probably just settle the debate on this, and they're probably enjoying the chaos. But yeah, there's still no source. They're still just pointing at nothing and saying, and like it's a big conservative circle jerk on this whole topic. And secondly, at no point have the argument of been it being XY chromosomes defines what is a woman has not been the talking point by conservatives for the past few years. So yeah, it's just been a completely hollow, completely useless, completely ridiculous controversy that just goes to show how. Oh, and I saw a TikTok. I tried to refine this TikTok because it was really, really good. But it was someone pointing out that because the big talking point is this controversy is just a display of male violence against women. Did I see what happened in Bangladesh? Maybe we can have a quick look at what happened in Bangladesh. Let's do that in a bit. But yeah, the controversy. They've made this supposedly into an issue of male violence against women, and I saw this person pointing out that, hey, conservatives, if you're concerned about male violence against women, maybe look into the NFL and look at all your favorite NFL players and what their track record is at home. Maybe look into like police officers and the rates of domestic violence among police officers. Maybe look into like all of your conservative superstars and whatever. Because you're not gonna, if you have a problem with male violence against women, maybe you're not gonna like what you find there. But the reality is, conservatives don't care about that. They don't care about violence against women. That's not their thing. That is just entirely right. Don't Google 40% of cops. Yeah, that is just entirely an excuse for conservatives to hate trans people, just like conservatives don't care about grooming gangs in the UK because the biggest grooming gang in the world is the Catholic Church, and there's never riots against the Catholic Church by conservatives. They just want to hate foreigners and Muslims. They don't care about sexual assault because like the vast majority of sexual assault is committed at home or like again Catholic Church. Bunch of other things. They just only use these topics when it serves their purpose of hating against whatever minority of the weak they want to stir up a bunch of hate against. All of this is bullshit. All of their hand-wringing and their supposed like moral panic that they're stirring up over these specific issues, they never care about any of those. Even a woman with XY chromosomes can be assigned female at birth. Yes, exactly. But the thing is, so there used to be, the Olympics used to have XY chromosomes as a test that they would run. But the thing is, a bunch of doctors at the time, this was in the 80s, up until the early 90s, a bunch of doctors were saying, hey, but the thing is, XY chromosomes do not inherently give you an unfair advantage. So disqualifying women because they have XY chromosomes when they're competing within the norm of what other women can compete on is just fundamentally unfair. And then it became, okay, well, we're going to do hormone testing, and women who have too much testosterone will be deemed to be not real women, and therefore they can't compete. And then experts were saying, well, the thing is, like, there's plenty of women who don't have XY chromosomes and who have hormone levels that are near like the standard for men. Why the hell would you disqualify them when they're like women literally by every other definition? And like having a lot of testosterone does not make you a man and does not make you less of a woman. And it's the same argument that I was bringing up last week of like there's no equivalent for this in men's sports where like a man who has an unfair genetic advantage does not there's at no point do we say like, Michael Phelps' body is like fundamentally giving him an unfair advantage over other swimmers, just because like you look into Michael Phelps' body proportions, and it's just the dude looks like a Zora from let me find the photos. I genuinely think that the redesign of the Zora in Zelda Breath of the Wild was inspired by Michael Phelps' body proportions. So if I remember correctly, the stats were the dude has the wait no image. The dude has the torso length of a he's 6'4". He has the torso length of a 6'8" person. He has super short legs that are the average length of a 5'8" person, and his feet are 3 sizes bigger than the average foot size for someone his height. The guy is like genuinely like, this is what he looks like. It's like super tiny legs, super long torso, super long arms, and webbed feet, basically. This is Michael Phelps. No one is like, oh, he's not a real man because he has a body that gives him an unfair advantage over other people. But for some reason, we have this weird thing where, like, conservatives seem to think that women's sports are, like, not real sports because a woman who's, just performing better than other women is not a real woman. Like, it's so infantilizing to treat women's sports that way. It's ridiculous. Every conversation about trans women in sport must conclude with a mention of Michael Phelps. I mean, it's just a relevant counterexample to say that the exclusion, and this isn't even a conversation about trans women in sports. It's because these women aren't trans. It's just it's just the point to make of like, there's no equivalent of the weird patronizing infantilization of women. I think the most disgusting version of this was a cartoon that I saw last week. This one. It's the assumption that women have to be these petite, feminine, thin, like not particularly muscular. If they're muscular, they have to be muscular in a sexy, feminine way. And holy shit, the level of racism in depicting like unspecified person. Like, they're not saying that this is specifically Iman Khalif or Lin Yuting, but the idea that, like, oh yeah, this is what the Olympics look like right now, and literally depicting, let's be honest, Iman Khalif has been the most the most visible of the two athletes in question, as a literal black demon is just insane levels of weird. But yeah, if a woman doesn't fit this archetype and this body type, then she's not a real woman. Is the double standard that's not double standard, but just like the ridiculousness of their argument, basically. But he has the male shield, another demonstration of the patriarchy's domination, even in sports. You mean Michael Phelps? Yeah. Well, again, it's like there's no equivalent to saying if this athlete is too good, they can't compete with other men in men's sports in the way that there is that for women, which is what's ridiculous with this whole fake controversy. And is like the other element of this is they're just angry at they just want women athletes to look sexy, and they just want to be titillated by women's athletes, which is also why, generally speaking, women athletes are made to wear these ridiculously uh like the uniforms that women are made to wear in just not just the Olympics but in sports in general, compared to like in the same sports uh the outfits that men wear is just another example of the double standard. What was it? It was in beach volleyball that I saw it. And just like this is the perfect example of how can you not say this is pure titillation for men for male audiences. Anyway, so yeah, let's have a quick look at Bangladesh, because that did take a dramatic turn. Hmm. Can we get like a summary of the situation? I guess the BBC should help. Nope, that's a live thing. Does Reuters have a summary of why exactly the protests were happening originally? Because then we'll get to recent developments, but I would like to just start with that maybe. So curfew, telecommunications disrupted. Okay, so massive protest in Bangladesh that killed, as of 3 weeks ago, the number is probably a lot higher now, but 3 weeks ago had killed 27 and injured 1,500. Protests started over student anger against quotas that set aside 30% of government jobs for the families of those who fought for independence from Pakistan. The nationwide unrest, the biggest since Hasina was re-elected this year, has been fueled by high unemployment among young people who make up nearly a fifth of the population of 170 million. Some analysts say, I love this. This is when they don't really have a source, but this is just the general vibe. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying this, but I just find, like, when they don't really know who to quote on this, basically, they say that. Violence is also being driven by wider economic woes such as high inflation and shrinking reserves of foreign exchange. So yeah, massive protests, and there was a massive violent response by the government, who also cut the internet to basically what they typically, that's a typical move when they do that, when there's a big social movement. They cut the internet to first of all prevent news from getting out, and also to disorganize the protests. But despite that, they managed to oust the government, and they managed to force the prime minister to resign, to flee to India, and now they're forming a new government. Owain, can you send me in the... Are you on Discord? And if you are on Discord, can you send a link in the Discord chat that's called general live stream, please? So what's up with the new interim government? So the new interim government is working to resolve attacks on Hindus and other religious minorities reported after the ouster of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Hindus are the largest minority in the mostly Muslim Bangladesh. Okay. But is this like a protester-formed government? The government, led by Nobel Peace Prize laureate Muhammad Yunus, ordered support for the families of protesters who were killed in the weeks of demonstration culminating in Hasina's departure. Okay. This is a good sign that the government is led by a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Not that the Nobel Peace Prize is the best indicator. Like, the Nobel Peace Prize was given to isn't always given to very deserving people. Like Obama, when he had done nothing, all he had done was get elected, got a Nobel Peace Prize for no reason. So was Myanmar, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, no, awesome that it's pretty crazy that they managed that a protest movement managed to overthrow the government. New Bangladesh government. Can we get more information about who they are? TLDR of what's happening in Bangladesh. Anti-government protest ousted the government over. I mean, I could list the stuff that that the Reuters article listed, but essentially it's like economic inequality. It's basic. Like, I guess you can summarize it as yellow vest on steroids if you want to take a European view on this. Like the kind of protest that starts out of one issue and then balloons up into all of the frustrations the people have, especially young people have, against the government and against an entrenched government that has been in power for too long. And they managed to oust them, and now you have a new government that I would like to know more about. Is this going to be like super narrativized? Can we get actual information instead of I mean, I'm trying to again, I'm not an expert on South Asian politics, and I'm trying to condense this for European, for like Western audiences as well. So trying to make it into like simplifying it into a way that Westerners like myself can like digest easily. So it's always like, trying to like it's the same thing when we like compare, European politicians to like their closest US equivalent for US audiences. So we say, oh yeah, Mélenchon is like Bernie Sanders, even though they don't have that much in common. And the other, like it's always weird to try to do those one-to-one comparisons. But yeah. I think we need to wait for a set of elections. Yeah, that's always what happens. I hope that there are a set of elections. This is labeled an interim government for a reason. Like there needs to be a government after the previous government was ousted, but hopefully, usually when the new government, when the interim government is a good faith like pro democracy government, their main task is organizing elections. So that they can either get reelected and have the legitimacy of having been elected, or a proper new government can actually take office. When it's a military coup, that doesn't happen, or it happens and the military government is reelected, like by magic. They just happen to get all of the votes for some reason. But yeah. The country's only Nobel laureate was sworn in on Thursday night as the chief advisor of the caretaker government, tasked with bringing peace and democracy. Yeah, both of which critics say were undermined during Hasina's 15 years in power. Anything else? Why was he picked? Tens of thousands of university students opposed to a quota system of government jobs that allegedly favored those close to Hasina's Awami League party. Okay, so it's basically the protesters proposed Yunus as the head of the new government, and that's what happened. Pioneer in microfinance. Okay, the banker to the poorest of the poor. Interesting. PhD from Vanderbilt University. Founded Grameen Bank to provide small loans to entrepreneurs who would not normally qualify to receive them. Hey, this is a pretty good track record as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for microcredits for poor people, especially women. Launched their political party in 2007. Apparently got investigated a bunch of times by Hasina. It's a bit of a red flag. Convicted of violating labor laws in January in a trial criticized as politically motivated, and is currently out on bail. Anyway, yeah, no, this is I mean, we'll have to see what happens after this, but this is definitely a positive development for sure. Anyway, yeah, this is much better of a feel good story than last stream that was just a complete downer. That was a complete downer on the UK riots. Microcredit altogether is not very effective in South Asia, though. That's the thing with like the solutions to economic inequality are always very underwhelming. The poor always pay for everything, unfortunately. It's like every single time there's an economic crisis, the rich are the ones who are like you would think that the people who have most of the money are going to lose most of the money. But no, the rich always are the ones who suffer the least from economic crises. Maybe like as a proportion of their income, they suffer they would lose more. but they're never put in a position of actually, unless they're like Bernie Madoff and they're actual criminals, in which case they go to jail. Very, very rarely does that happen. But yeah, no, the poor just structurally are always the one who bear the brunt for everything that happens. And the rich just get scot-free. And it's the same with like the solutions that we have to try to prevent economic crises is like playing with interest rates. And like the way we do that is like we will change interest rates in ways that will maybe stabilize the economy at the cost of making loans for like people buying homes way more expensive. It's always poor people who pay for everything. And I want to say like that's just the way it is. The reality is it's the way it is because rich people are in control of everything, and that's why they will never propose solutions that will actually put their skin in the game. Thank you for the article. Okay, this is in French, so I'm going to have to translate it into English. And is the Google Translate coherent? And does it say anything new that we haven't already talked about quickly? Okay, so they're talking about the reform, the quota system that we were talking about. Yeah, it's basically saying what we were saying. Yeah, I'll read more into this next time, and like we'll keep an eye, or by next stream or something, or by the time there's new developments. But this is basically what we've been saying. We just need to see what happens now. It's the same with France. I'm still waiting for something to happen because now France is a complete deadlock politically. So I want to make a follow up to the election, but there hasn't been really any consequences from the election yet. Macron's government is still in place, and the talks of a new government formation haven't really gone anywhere. So I just want to see what direction things head in before I make a follow up to that. And it's the same with this. Like, it's great that they were able to oust the previous government, but we need to see what things look like after this. Do you want to address the Bulgarian government being mad at gay people existing, or do you prefer keep the chill vibe? We talked about this quickly in DMs. I do want to talk to someone about that who would know more. Like we've let's set something up for another stream where I could actually have someone come onto stream and do an interview. That would be great. But yeah, basically, the Bulgarian government is pulling a Putin and doing a law against what do they call it? LGBT propaganda, which is their umbrella term for anything that has to do with not hating gay people. But yeah, it would be nice to have the person from the organization that you mentioned last time. Thanks, Yako, for the link. Okay. I wanted to do something a bit fun today. And the context is the women boxers who won gold. I felt like doing some VR boxing on stream. How does that sound? There's also the Israel, Lebanon, and Venezuela things. Yeah, same thing. Venezuela, let's see what happens. Israel versus everyone in the Middle East seems to be kind of on hold at the moment, where everyone is holding their breath. With the situation with Iran, so let's see what happens. Let's take it easy this week, and we can talk about it some more, maybe next week, or maybe depending on what happens in the next few weeks. So yeah, I have an Oculus Quest 2, and I was thinking of doing a few fights in VR and like cast them on stream at the same time as I'm on camera fighting. Just for fun, because I don't want to think too hard today. So let's give that a try and see what that looks like. Let me just get changed. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, so I got this during the pandemic as a way of virtually leaving my tiny studio apartment, because the room that you see, this is my apartment. Everything you see, what right now you see about half of my apartment. There's another space behind this shelf. That's the other half of my single room apartment, and this is where I spent basically 2 years between early 2020 and the vaccine coming out. So I got the VR headset as a way to not feel locked in and be able to virtually travel, and it turned out to be honestly kind of a fun. My brother made me try it once, and I was like, this is actually completely a new way to play video games. And yeah, no, the comparison to Wii Sports Boxing is like not at all equivalent whatsoever. Let me get this stuff ready. The so I have two games that I use as a workout. There's the boxing game, and there's a kind of an arcade shooting game, basically where you like stand on rails, like your character moves forward automatically, and you just like shoot enemies that pop up in the way like old arcade games worked. But you also have to dodge the bullets, and you have to crouch under obstacles, and that will like that is a genuinely a good leg workout. But the boxing game that I'm about to play, it will get you a 10-minute fight will make me sweat way more than a 40-minute run, honestly. So I do need to get the casting thing to work. Cancel. Where is it? There we go. Okay. And put this here. Okay. Let's give this a try. Can I do something to Yeah, I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on chat while I'm fighting. So yeah, it's going to I'll come back to chat in between rounds. And let's see. This is kind of a new thing. This is the first time I play VR and stream, so it's going to be a bit different. We'll see what this looks like. Oh, and I'll do something else, and I'll lower this and go into the settings here. Huh. I thought I had a bunch of... Okay. Yeah, I'll just boost my microphone so you can hear me from the other side of the room, I guess. So... the game is this one. Yeah, let me boost the microphone. Where is the other setting? Copy. Alright, I'll copy both of these. Give me a sec. Is my VR background the Gorilla album? No, it's just a default Oculus background. One of the default Oculus backgrounds. Okay, this is going to be way too loud. Test, 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 test. So I just want to see if I'm speaking from here. Yeah, this should be loud enough still. Okay. Question, do you hear the game audio? No. Desktop audio. Volume on. I'm gonna have to go back and forth just to see if... Yeah, that should work. Okay, let's give this a try. So I'm gonna start in the hardest difficulty, on one of the easier opponents, and we'll see what that looks like. Wait, maybe I need to reframe the camera to be on screen. Like this. Should be enough. And let's go.
Keep it clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you.
Okay. Is everything set up properly? Is like the volume okay? Barely is competing for the gold medal in the Paris Olympics. Yeah. Yeah, I can't put women opponents. All the opponents are men, so I can't have an unfair advantage. Where are the FPS? Wait, FPS? Yeah, though it's because it's going over Wi-Fi. Like the stream. Wait, the stream from the headset to my computer is going over Wi-Fi. So yeah, the FPS is probably pretty shit. I hope it's not too bad on stream. If it's too bad after this fight, I guess I'll stop. We'll see. Come on.
Two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8.
40 seconds. Come on, go down. If I had been able to put him down one more time, whoa, that's too much. If I had been able to put him down one more time, I would have won the fight. But instead, I have to do another round. How bad is the lag? Is the lag so bad that it's unwatchable, or is it okay? It's okay. Just at the end there was some FPS losses. Yeah. Okay. Let's just keep on going then for now. Need to catch my breath. Where is my water? Give me a sec. Oh wait. 50 seconds. There. Okay, let's try to knock him out this time. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, two,
Shouldn't be too hard.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the match ending in the third round, your winner by technical knockout, the red corner.
Okay, that's fight one. Like, doing this for half an hour to an hour will absolutely kill you, honestly. Okay, let's do a harder opponent this time.
Keep it clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you.
There we go. Okay. That's not good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
Okay. Okay. He knocked me down once, so I need to knock him down again if I want to win. There we go. 2 minutes, 2 seconds left. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the match ending in the second round, your winner by technical knockout, the red corner.
Okay. Oops, no. What did I do? Come on. Okay.
Olympic Games closing ceremony in Live. I can definitely not rebroadcast the Olympics Games closing ceremony. I will get my channel nuked off the face of the earth if I do that. So this is the closing ceremony as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Walter White got knocked up bad. Yeah, I put Heisenberg down. Okay. Barely in shape? Yeah, you can say that. Barely. Let's do this game's equivalent of Mike Tyson. So this guy. Oh wow! Give me a sec. I'll be right back. Okay. So yeah, these two fighters that I just did are among the easiest in the game. There's only like 10 fighters, so it's not that many. But is the desktop audio working? Yeah, it is. Okay. So even though these fighters are relatively easy, I'm in highest difficulty mode. So, but even like because they're among the easiest fighters, they're still like, it's not too hard to knock them down. But as you go up in difficulty, the fighters get significantly more resistant, so it's way harder to knock them out. I'm gonna do one against a guy called the Spider, who's like super, super tall and has super long arms. And then I'll do one against a guy who kind of basically fights like Mike Tyson and is, yeah, a tank who's impossible to knock out. So I just have to survive until the end of the fight if I want to win on the points against the Mike Tyson dude. Let me close the door. I'll be right back, and then I'll fight. Catter, come here. Meow, meow, meow. Okay. Barely will beat Spider-Man. I don't think this €10 game had the budget to license Spider-Man in a boxing game. The Spider. Let's see. To be clear, this guy is super hard to fight because of how much reach he has.
I'm only going to tell you two things. Protect yourself at all times and obey what I say at all times. Let's make this a clean fight.
Already? Jesus. Yeah, this dude is tough. Boxing fight against the cat. I think the cat beats me. Like, let me show you. Famous veterinarian textbook. Wait, what? So apparently, this is in an actual veterinarian textbook. General considerations: the cat is faster and has sharper teeth and nails than you do. It has no code of ethics or considerations for its own future. In a fair fight, it will win. Don't fight a cat. Use your brain. Use drugs. I love that. Just even without this whole thing and without the context, these 3 rules should be like your rules for life in general. Don't fight a cat. Use your brain. Use drugs. Same cut as Wolverine. Yeah, it's the this thing on the VR headset that gives me a weird hairdo. Anyway, let me drink some water and get back to it. I remember trying to give eye drops to my cat. Worst mistake of my life. Yeah, no, cats, especially if you ever catch, like my brother, wait, I'm speaking too loud. My brother once caught like a stray cat in his neighborhood to try to bring it to the vet to, like, the cat was like injured or something. And holy shit, my brother had to go to the hospital for like very, like, not like life-threatening, but pretty severe lacerations on his arms from trying to catch the cat. And he, like, the cat got away. He wasn't able to catch it, to bring it to the vet. I've also heard of stories of cats going insane. Like, in a room that had wallpaper, the cat was basically running in circles on the walls, just like with its claws, like digging into the wallpaper. It's like impossible to deal with. Cats are freakishly strong as well. Like they're tiny, but their muscles are super powerful when you're trying to handle them. It's crazy. Anyway, back to the spider. Come on, buddy. Yes. Can I get you down? Fuck. Oof. Come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This guy has an unfair advantage over me. He's way too tall. Let me change the stream title to VR Boxing. Can I change? Okay. Okay, last round. If I either knock him down once or... Wait, what's the time? Okay. If I either knock him down once or I don't get knocked down, I win the fight. No, I think it's a tie if I don't get knocked down, so I do need to knock him down once at least. And not get knocked down myself. Okay. There we go. No. Go down.
Ladies and gentlemen, going to the scorecards, the judges have determined by unanimous decision, your winner is the red corner.
Cat. Cat's on my chair. I'm trans financial. I'm an extremely rich person who happens to be trapped in a poor body person. Isn't everyone? Boop. Stream title, do not fight cats, use drugs instead. Yeah. Okay. What's Mpox? Barely sweating. Oh no, I'm not barely sweating right now. Okay. What the hell is Mpox? Monkeypox. Oh, wonderful. That sounds great. Okay. How... Oh, whoa, that does not look good. That really doesn't look good, guys. The symptoms, I'm just reading the wiki. Okay, is there an outbreak in Africa? Yeah, looks like it looks like it's true. Not looking into that today. Plus, Africa's another region of the world that is not Europe and therefore not my expertise at all. Okay, let's do the Tyson fight. It's not really called Tyson in the game, but basically modeled after Tyson. This guy can basically knock me out in one punch. So it's rough. Let's see. This guy.
I'm only going to tell you two things. Protect yourself at all times and obey what I say at all times. Let's make this a clean fight.
Okay. Ooh, okay. What the hell? Okay. Not good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. If WHO declares a public health emergency of international concern over mpox, we'll definitely cover it next week. Yeah. We'll after the boxing, maybe if I'm not too dead, we can have a quick look at it. But yeah, no, I'm actually curious because what a lot of people said about it feels weird to be talking about these kinds of topics while I'm like covered in sweat. A lot of people said about COVID that, oh yeah, COVID was, not as bad as it could have been, but it's good that we had this entirely, like this huge international set of measures that we deployed and everything, because it was basically a dress rehearsal for the really dangerous, deadly pandemic that is probably going to come in a few years. Like, we never know when it can happen, but a much more deadly, I mean, this was a deadly pandemic. It killed a bunch of people, but it could have been much worse. And I think my mic is too loud. And yeah, it was basically a dress rehearsal for something that could be worse. I worry that the anti-vax and like anti-lockdown movements that came out during COVID will basically be energy, like will maintain that energy, even if there's a much more deadly virus that comes out. That there's still going to be, oh yeah, but remember last time when during the lockdowns, remember what happened here, remember schools being locked down, remember this, remember that. And it doesn't matter how deadly the next pandemic is going to be. I worry that there's going to be such a resistance to any measures taken that our response is basically going to be worse than before the quote-unquote dress rehearsal that was COVID. So yeah, no, it's definitely worth keeping an eye on for sure. Okay, so he knocked me down once, but I also had him on the ropes for a little bit, so I definitely need to even out the score. Let's see. Okay, 2 more rounds. And then maybe I'll stop. We'll see. Maybe I can do one more fight after this one, but for now, I think I might stop after this.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight.
Come on, get up.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight.
Chat's quiet, it seems. Is everyone watching the closing ceremony or what? Winning Mike Tyson in a boxing match. Well, right now I think I think I'm beating him in the scores. I need to win the last round to win. Otherwise I lose. Like Next round, either I stay up and I win, or if I knock him down, I win. If he knocks me down once, I lose and there's no tie. So I just need to at least stay up. Let's see what happens. Terrible idea. Come on. Come on. Yes.
One, two, three, four, five,
Come on.
6, 7, 8.
Whoa, what the hell?
One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8.
1 minute to knock me out. Come on, hit me. Hit me. Yes. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, with the match ending in the 4th round, your winner by technical knockout, the red corner.
Thank you, Portal Shooter. Is that a reference to the game Portal or nothing to do with that? Man, boxing has lost me a small handful of subscribers on YouTube, apparently. Not a popular sport. It is the zeros or portals. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, should we do one more fight or not? Good luck, by the way, you can do it. Yeah, thanks. I mean, I won that fight, so maybe we can do one last fight against the hardest guy. Okay. Last fight. I'm probably gonna lose this one. Thanks, Yako. See you soon. You don't want to stay on for the last fight? Yeah, we'll talk about monkeypox next stream. Okay, let's do one last fight.
Keep it clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you.
Well, I'm too tired. What the hell was that? Jeez.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Fuck.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Too tired to on this fight to begin with, so I don't think I'm gonna win this one. Ugh. Let's see how this round goes.
One, two, three, four, five,
I lost.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well, that's it for today. Me tired? You're tired. I'm not sweating, you're sweating. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Let me lower this a bit. Testing 1 2 1 2. Okay. Testing 1 2 1 2. Yeah, okay. This is back. Yeah, let's talk about Mpox next weekend. I think we might have a lot of things to talk about next weekend since hopefully we have a really cool guest on. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm going to call it a day for now. But this was fun. Weird stream experiment. And next week I'll be publishing some things on the channel. Okay. Have a good night, everyone. See you soon. Wait, let me check if there's any donos that I missed. New follower. Nope. Okay. Well, I will see you on Sunday, and I'll be publishing things in the meantime. See you soon. Have a good weekend. Have a good night. Bye-bye.